Hello viewers, welcome to UN College Digital Class. In today's class, I am going to discuss about DAG, which is Directed Acyclic Graph in Compiler Designing class. Okay, in the previous class of Compiler Designing, I have discussed about intermediate code optimization and the different methodology of code optimization and also about basic block. In today's class, we will discuss about control flow graph along with DAG. Let's start. First of all, we will discuss about what is the meaning of flow graph. Okay, flow graph is a directed graph. It contains the flow of control information for the set of basic block. Whenever you are writing a program, you are passing the program for compilation. At that time, after number of phases, intermediate code is generated, and during that period, your program is divided into number of basic block. Okay, the way or the control flows from one block to another block is represented by using flow graph. It contains the flow of control information for the set of basic block. Okay, this is the use of flow graph. A control flow graph is used to depict that how the program control is being parsed among the blocks. Okay, here I am going to discuss one example of basic block. You can see here that I have used the multiplication coding here. Product equal to 0, I equal to 1, T1 equal to 4 into I, T2 in this way. Okay, and already I have discussed why we are using T1, T2, T3 in the previous classes. Here I have used two blocks B1 and B2. If you are using multiple blocks, more than two blocks, then you may use B3, B4, B5 in this way. Block B1 is the initial code. Block B2 immediately follows B1. So from B2 to B1 there is an edge. Okay, the target of jump from last statement of B1 is the first statement of B2. So from B1 to B2 there is an S. B2 is the successor of B1 and B1 is the predecessor of B2. In this way we will represent the basic block, and in this way the control flow information is maintained. I hope you have got the basic concept regarding basic block and control flow and how we are dividing one intermediate code segment into number of basic block. Now I am going to discuss about DAG representation for basic block. Directed acyclic graph, which is called as DAG, is a special kind of abstract syntax tree. DAG is a very useful data structure for implementing transformation on basic block. Here we are learning about code optimization, and in intermediate code generation the segment is divided into number of basic block, and DAG is used for transforming or optimizing on basic block. Okay, it gives a picture representation of how the value computed by the statement is used in subsequent statement. A DAG is constructed for optimizing the basic block. A DAG is usually constructed using three address code. Transformations such as date code elimination and common sub expression elimination are then applied. Already in the previous class I have discussed what is the meaning of date code elimination, common sub expression elimination, etc. If you have not gone through that video, then please go through that so that you will be clear concept, you will get some basic idea on all these elements. Each node of it contains a unique value. It does not contain any cycle in it, hence it is called as acyclic. Here I am going to discuss about some aspects or characteristics associated with DAG or directed acyclic graph. DAG for basic block is a directed acyclic graph with the following labels on the node. Okay, obviously as it is a graph, obviously it contains number of nodes and number of edges. The leaves of graph are labeled by unique identifier, and that identifier can be variable names or constant. The interior nodes of the graph is labeled by an operator symbol. Nodes are also given a subsequence of identifier for labels to store the computed value. DAGs are a type of data structure. It is used to implement transformation on basic block. Already I have discussed what is the different types of transformation on basic block in the previous class. DAG provides a good way to determine the common sub expression. Now we will discuss algorithm for construction of DAG. Okay. Now in this algorithm, the first we will discuss about input, then output, and then methodology. Here the input is what? It contains a basic block, obviously, because the basic block is transformed to DAG. The output is, it contains the following information. Each node contains a label. For leaves, the label is an identifier. Each node contains a list of attached identifier to hold the computed values. Here we will discuss about three cases. The first case is x equal to y operator z. Then the second case is x equal to operator y. Case 3 equal to x equal to y. Now we will discuss about method to construct DAG. In the methodology, the first step is if y operand is undefined, then create node y. If z operand is undefined, then for case 1 create node z. Already we have discussed what are the different three cases, and accordingly the methodology is implemented. At step 2, for case 1 create node operator. Here OP is representing operator whose right child is node z and left child is node y. For case 2, check whether there is node operator with one child node y. For case 3, node n will be node y. In this way, the methodology is implemented. Then what is the output? For node x, delete x from the list of identifier. Append x to attached identifier list for the node n found in step 2. Finally, set node x to n. This is the output. Now we will discuss the properties related to DAG. Reachability relationship forms a partial order in DAG. Both transitive closure and transitive reduction are uniquely defined for DAG. Topological ordering are defined for DAG. All these are the properties. Now we will discuss about the application. DAG are used for the following purposes. What are those? To determine the expression which have been computed more than once, called common sub expression. Then the next one is to determine the names whose computation has been done outside the block but used inside the block. Then the next one is to determine the statements of the block whose computed value can be made available outside the block. All these are the application of the DAG. To simplify the list is also another important application of the DAG of quadruples. By not executing the assignment instruction x equal to y unless they are necessary and eliminating the common sub expression. Now we will discuss some rules associated with DAG. The first rule is, in a DAG, the interior nodes always represent the operators. Okay, you have to remember some basic rules so that you can construct DAG in a very easy way. Then the next one is exterior nodes, okay, which are the leaf nodes, always represent the name, identifier or constant. Then the second rule is, while constructing a DAG, a check is made to find if there exists any node with the same value. A new node is created only when there does not exist any node with the same value. This action helps in detecting the common sub expression and avoiding the recomputation of the same. This rule is very effective one. Why? Because if some value already exists, then why we will create a new node? This is the main motto of this rule exactly, and in this way optimization is implemented. Then we will discuss about rule 3, the assignment instruction of the form x equal to y are not performed unless they are necessary. Now we will discuss one problem so that you will be very clear to construct or the how to construct DAC. Let the expression is a plus b inside the bracket into a plus b plus c in another bracket. Here you can see that we are using a plus b twice. If we will just use one simple parse tree or syntax tree, then we will represent everything, but in DAC it is different as it is optimizing the basic block. How? Now the solution, first of all we will convert this one into 3 address code by using 3 address code. If we will convert the expression into 3 address code, then the expression will be T1 equal to a plus b, T2 equal to T1 plus c, then T3 equal to T1 into T2. How? Given expression is a plus b. Here you can see the given expression a plus b inside the bracket, then into a plus b plus c inside another bracket. Here we have used T1 which is representing a plus b, and again we don't need to calculate a plus b, we are just using the T1. In this way we will convert the expression into 3 address code. I hope you have got the clear concept here, how we are converting the 3 address code and how we are eliminating the redundant code. Okay. Here I am using the example a plus b inside the bracket, then plus is in another bracket a plus b plus c. Okay, in that case what will be the construction of DAC? You can see here clearly at the first step we have used T0 which is representing the plus symbol and AB are the children. Okay, and at the second case what I have done, I have used T1 which is representing the plus symbol, and the two children here, the two leaf node or the two children of T1 are T0 and C. Okay, and T0 is representing what? A plus B. In this way we are constructing the second step of DAC. Then at the final step you can see that D equal to T0 plus T1. What we have done here, we have just used D as which is adding T0 and T1. Okay, so here we are using the plus operator and just we are combining, we are representing, we are using one is, you can see here that from T0 to D which is using the same operator. In this way we are eliminating the use of redundant code. Here you can see that I have used one expression to represent both syntax tree and DAC. This is about the syntax tree and this is about DAC. Okay. In the expression is what? A equal to B into C, minus C plus B into minus C. Here we are using unary operator also and binary operator. Here you can see that equal to is at the root, then at the left hand A which is the resultant variable, then plus, this plus is representing this one, then at the left side we have used multiplication symbol and this portion is representing B into minus C, and the right side of plus, this portion is representing this one. Okay, this is about what syntax tree. But when we are using DAG, what will happen? We are using the same plus here, and A is the resultant variable, no problem. But you can see here we have used the plus symbol, and at the left side what we have done, we have used left side as B. Here you can see that we are using B and minus C also. But here what we have done, as C is used here and C is used here also, means it means that C is used in two cases, minus C is used in two cases. So here what we have done, we have used only single minus C, and we are using minus C in the first expression and also in the second expression in DAG. You can see here clearly in DAG, so that it will be effective, and optimization is implemented by using DAG in this way. Here I have used one expression again to explain another example of DAG construction, so that you will be clear. The expression is A plus A, then multiplication, then B minus C plus B minus C again, and here all the B minus the two different B minus C is in the bracket, then into D. Here you can see that we have repeated B minus C twice, which can be eliminated by using DAG. How? First we will construct the three address code. T1 equal to B minus C, T2 equal to A into T1, then T3 equal to A plus T2, T4 equal to T1 into D, T5 equal to T3 plus T4. Here you can see that we have used T1 equal to B minus C at the first step. Why? Because B minus C is repeated, and it is a very good approach or rule. We may say that if we will use the repeated expression, convert it into three address code at the first step, then that will be better. For that reason we have used T1 equal to B minus C, so that we can use T1 instead of B minus C again and again. Then at the T2, here you can see that A into T1, what we have used here. Then next one is T3 equal to A plus T2. As the multiplication operator is having higher precedence than plus, so here first of all we are calculating A into B minus C at the T2 step. Then T3, then at the T4, T1 into D. T1 is representing B minus C and into D, and we know that it is the last one, but multiplication is having higher precedence, that's why. Then T5 equal to T3 plus T4 in this way. Here let me use the pen so that you will be more clear to understand it. Okay, T1 equal to B minus C. Here we have used at this step. Okay, it is very interesting and very easy also. It is looking complicated but easy, because here we are constructing the DAG from leaf towards the root. Okay, then T2 equal to A into T1. Here you can see this portion, T2 equal to A, this one is A into T1. Okay, here we have constructed T1 already as B minus C. Minus is representing the operator and it is the parent of B and C. Then the next one, T3 equal to A plus T2. Here you can see that we are using plus. Okay, but we are not repeating A. We are using the same A here. It is optimization exactly. But if we will represent this one by using syntax tree or parse tree, then we have to repeat everything again and again. Here we are just eliminating the redundant code or redundant expression. Okay. Then T4 equal to T1 into D. Here you can see that T4 equal to T1 into D is here, and T1 is already here, and T1 is representing B minus C. So we are not repeating that one. Then the final one is T5 equal to T3 plus T4. This one is plus, and this one is representing T3, and this one is representing T4. In this way we have constructed the DAG, which is implementing, or which is implemented for optimization. I hope you have got some basic clear concept on this construction of DAG and 3 address code. In today's section, we have discussed about what is DAG, what are the application of DAG, what are the rules of constructing DAG, and also we have constructed DAG with examples. Okay, I have explained DAG with example, and also I have explained how you will convert the given expression into 3 address code, etc. But still, if you have any doubt, then please write to me in the comment box so that I can clear your doubt. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great time.